Okay, are we live? There we go. It took a bit for it to register, but it seems to be going. Yep, here we go. Been a little bit. But yeah, holy crap, things went downhill fast with Sayori last episode. Like, oh my god, like the turnaround from episode 4 to 5 where it seemed like things, were going, I said like in the description of part 5, things seemed to be going well with Sayori last time, and then episode 5 was just like psych, you thought. So yeah, wow. That was something. But we got to the part where now they want to start over, our boy in Sayori. So yeah, should be interesting to see what happens today. Also, oh my god, I am sorry for the late start, guys. This is quite a bit later than I wanted to be, but it was something I had to discuss privately with someone. Just a friend is all I'm gonna say. Friend of the show. But yeah, other than that, I've pretty much just been working and watching some playoff hockey because it is playoff season right now, boys. And we almost had something pretty historic happen in the first round of the NHL playoffs here. We almost had every home team win game 1 of their series. 7 out of 8 teams won, 7 out of 8 home teams won their first game. Only one lost, and of course, it's the only series that I care about. Should say the one that I care about the most, and that's the Dallas versus Vegas series. Did I update the thumbnail? Yeah, I did. There we go. Yeah, it seems like if you want to, have all of the info on the Discord embeds show up properly, you need to wait like 10, like 15 minutes for everything to update. It takes a while. There we go. Server's been notified. Yeah, let me copy the text. Shut up, Windows Defender. You don't got anything important to say. Don't even bother, giving me a notification. I just noticed a detail I missed on the thumbnail. I'll have to update that after the stream. Maybe somebody in the comments can tell you what it is. There we go. Yep. There we go. I just got a response from my head mod on what I was talking about with them in mod chat earlier. What's up, Caleb? Funnily enough, I was just talking about you. Like I just started to. How are you doing? Is your throat doing any better today? What about this time? I know I'm a neck beauty, but we've talked about this. You can't have me, I'm taken. You're really buying into Oreo's fanfics about us, aren't you? God damn it. Yep. You know what I find really funny? I'm going around to different servers because I like to do my promo thing. The director of team relations, they apparently really liked this mod too. Like they just posted that a few days ago, or somebody did. So make of that what you will. Somebody's showing off some Undertale looking stuff in another server. Well, it looks like an AU called Collided Universe. Yeah, I'd have to watch the dude's video. That, and I'm trying to withhold judgment for the time I finished the mod. Yeah, I remember when I remember when I streamed the pilot episode of this series. When I started doing Salvation Remake, I thought the earlier act didn't didn't exactly feel the cleanest. Like when I was reading through it, there just seemed to be inconsistencies in the story that I'm just like, eh. Yeah, it just made me go, what? Like, is this the reason why? I was like, is this the reason why? Is that like the reason why the dev just disappeared off the internet for a while? I don't know, man. But then I continued reading, and I was like, once I got into like Act 2 and stuff, I'm just like, this actually ain't half bad. This is actually really enjoyable. Consistency is a must when it comes to any story or visual novel. That's why the planning stage is so important. For sure. Imagine that's up to the author themselves. At least I'm of that opinion. I hold a much more cynical opinion with remakes of AAA titles, though. That's an interesting take. For sure. Also, yeah. Welcome to chat, Reimu. Just about to get started here. You tuned in at a good time. By the way, I was surprised how much viewership the random game session with Geometry Dash I did on Friday. God, like, I know that's a pretty big game. I lost my train of thought. How far in would I say I am? I'm honestly not sure. I know I'm in Act 2 at the very least, which I reached after the first session, and we've been in Act 2 ever since. So I think Act 1 was more just like a prologue of what's to come. So yeah. Is that what Reimu Hakure is from? It's been a couple of weeks since the last episode, so I don't remember. Yeah, you gotta keep in mind, I have a lot of active stuff going on. I have a lot of active stuff going on, so it's a little hard to keep track of where I am and everything. Especially with story-based stuff like this, that is hard to keep track of. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, Caleb, and that's the kind of thing I talked about in the DDLC section of the Discord server when I was talking about feeling kind of burnt out on mods. That's why I've been looking for more. That's why I've been looking for more unique ones, like that mod Clay God that I did a one-off of the other day. Oh my god, Clay God was such an interesting mod. And it was made by a self-admitted, like outsider to the community, someone that had never really made a mod or interacted with the community before. And it's probably one of the best pieces of DDLC fan content I've ever played. Like, go check out go check out Clay God if you haven't. It was such a unique mod. Like, I've never seen anything like it. I definitely recommend it. Salvation Remake really sticks to its roots. I've kind of got the impression that this mod aimed to, or I should say this remake aimed to expand on things from the original and, just be overall a more detailed version of the story, because that's the impression that I'm getting. It wanted to expand on the ideas of the original. Anyway, let's actually get into things here. Feels good to actually get a full 9 hours of sleep for once. Who would have thought sleep was actually important? Don't tell that to my sleep schedule. Not me. Yep, I run on a typical, like, 4 to 6 hours of sleep on a daily basis. Just, I don't know what it is. I just cannot ever seem to get that full 8 hours. From the corner of my eye, I see Sayori walking down the street, happily waving at me. I don't see Natsuki anywhere, so I assume she must have made her way back home or went to school. That's right, I think her and Natsuki had a sleepover or something the previous day. Either that or they were getting together for some other reason. Good morning. Morning. Sleep okay? Yep. You? Yeah. First time I've had a real good night's rest in a while. Hey, me too. Well, things seem to be going well. Who would have thought sleep was actually important? This is deja vu, guys. That's literally what I just thought a few seconds ago. Oh, but I was joking. God damn it, Sayori. Right. So was I. No, you aren't. Anywho, let's get going. Without spending too much time on the previous topic, we make our way to school. We don't talk much, and there's a subtle sense of awkwardness, though it doesn't feel wrong or anything. Yeah, I think you were talking about making a video about Exit Music Redux, weren't you, Caleb? And yeah, I would expect there to be a sense of awkwardness between them, since, you know, they did just say the previous night that they wanted to try and start over. Like, it's actually a perfect time to bring that up. Because, yeah, look. You know, they want to start over, the two of them being friends after the fight that they had. Best way I could describe it would be as if you're walking with your crush. You don't really want to say the wrong things, so you just enjoy each other's company. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. We arrived at Sayori's morning class ahead of schedule, so we decided to take a seat on a nearby bench. Sayori pulls out her phone and begins to scroll. I can't help but feel a bit disappointed that she's doing that. That's like when I'm watching a sports game with the family, I look up, you know, and see that everybody that's supposedly watching the game is all just, you know, looking down at their phones. So I share in my boy's disappointment here. Because it's like, yeah, I'm playing, you know, usually playing on my Switch or something when I'm watching like a hockey game or something. That's because I'm doing something mindless that I don't really have to pay too much attention to. You know, it's like I can set up whatever I'm doing and then just look at the game. I do that because I really have a hard time sitting still. I like having stuff like that to keep idle thumbs busy. Because it makes the time go by faster. But yeah, you know, we're all supposed to be watching a hockey game or a football game or something, and I look up, everyone's just, you know, looking down at their phones. And I'm like, really? Are we watching the game or are we listening to the game? I was talking about that with my manager at work today. I find it a little frustrating sometimes. Not that I'd like to sound bitter or anything, but when someone being on their phone while you're sitting with them isn't exactly the best. Look at this cat. Isn't it the cutest? Show kitty. Oh, yeah? I do like me some cats. Uh-oh. Don't let a cat in his vicinity. Sarah scooches a bit closer to me and puts her phone into view. Me having the most amazing dinner but can't eat until I get the perfect YouTube video. That's like me when I'm just eating by myself. I just put something on in the background to listen to, even if it's something I've watched like 50 times. I'm kind of like my mom in that sense, in that she likes to watch reruns of shows she's seen a million times to help put her to sleep. I'm that way except with YouTube videos that I've watched 100 times. Something you want to show me? Oh, no, nothing in particular. Just didn't want to leave you feeling left out. I suppose that makes sense. She continues scrolling past various funny videos, cat pictures, and some random inspiring quotes plastered on some nice backgrounds. 2.5 fed me with the back. No, she's more into stuff like Friends, Seinfeld, The King of Queens, Roseanne, those kinds of shows. I don't know how many of those you're familiar with, but I'm sure you've heard of at least 2 of them. Notably, she doesn't really seem to have much else on her feed. Wait, what was that one? Sayori scrolls back up to a funny image that makes me chuckle out loud. How could you miss that one? I didn't really find it that funny. What is it? I can tell when something isn't that funny, so I just skip over it. Well, humor is subjective. Fair. I guess the things I find funny might be different from yours. That's what I was just talking about, my boy. Humor is subjective. Not everybody finds the same things funny. But I think we can all agree we have to be able to laugh at ourselves once in a while. Like, what was it, a month or 2 back when I did that Ascension high round where I got to 138 and the game ended because of the stupidest mistake I could possibly make. Caleb, I know you're never gonna let me live that one down. And yeah, when that happened, I just started fucking laughing because it's like I brought it on myself. Completely unprompted. Just tried to shank into a horde of zombies on round 138 because I wanted to fix my points. Because the fact that it didn't end in 0-0 bothered me. When it is completely unimportant to what I was doing. True. Yes, I did go out swinging in that game. I still need to reattempt that game, by the way. But not before I reattempt Moon on VO1 and reclaim that 100 that I lost. Where I got bumped on 96. That was painful. I did learn a lot from that game, though. And after one of the videos I watched from Krups recently, it's given me motivation to want to get back on the grind again. I just need to find time to do it, because you know me. It's hard to find time to commit, that much time to a game. Okay, so let's see what funny picture Sayori found for us. Sayori spends a few seconds looking for the image. Here, take a look at this one. Sayori shows me an image of a 4-panel comic. Oh shit, Sayori into Rage comics? The main punchline of the joke was a man wearing a shirt saying, "I help blind kids," only for him to be shown pouring bleach into kids' eyes. That's some old school shit right there. Just saying, that's old school memeing right there. Holy shit. That takes me back to when I was on iFunny in high school. That was shit, dude. That was over 10 years ago. Oh, jeez. That's dark, but I smiled anyway. Yeah. We've talked a lot about that. How the devs of that mod, didn't seem to be making it out of passion, more out of spite, just because... I think they... Yeah, what was it? They... felt like they were making it more out of necessity, weren't they? Yeah, I get what you're saying, Reimu. I get what you're saying. That isn't a bad thing, is it? I mean... So you did find it funny. And no, I don't think it's bad. We make humor out of dark situations. It's almost like a coping mechanism. Wait, really? Caleb, you're gonna have to elaborate on that one. You're gonna have to elaborate on that one, man. Because I think you've talked about it in broad strokes You've talked about it in broad strokes before, but you're gonna have to tell me about that story. That VA was born because of you. The joke is clever and dark, but I mostly laugh at the clever aspect. Well, I'll give you that. It was pretty funny. You never struck me as the type to appreciate darker humor like that. You think so? Well, that's pretty neat. Oh, there's the bell. That's our cue. Sarah and I both get up to stretch a bit, but Sarah letting out a loud yawn as she does so. The end of the Lament team. We were all close, but to the main founders, and I was very, very much myself, you know. Yeah, that checks out. Sleepy? Nah, this class is just so boring. Yeah, she definitely looks tired. Look at those eyes. Yep, I remember we've talked about that before. You know, how you were one of, if not, the first people to make that happen. And then, other people copied it. I get sleepy just thinking about it. Well, don't fall asleep in class. You don't want to end up like me. Siri only gives me a friendly punch on my arm before heading into class. Too soon? I only scratch my head as I head towards my own class. Later. The rest of the school day passes by pretty uneventfully. Sarah and I did meet up for lunch as usual and had a normal conversation, which is probably the best thing I could have hoped for, honestly. Let me know if the music sounds a bit quiet to you guys, because it does to me. But maybe I just have my volume low. Yeah, I did turn it down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna turn that back up. Yeah, that was in the days before MPT. Before entering the club room, I noticed Monica walking down the hallway. Okay, yeah, I've been wanting to keep tabs on you, Monty, because you've been acting out more and more. And I'm curious how that's going to develop over the course of this mod, because we all know the extremes that she went to in the original. Hey, Monica. Late again? She's still got those marks under her eyes. You can't have live 2D in a DDLC mod, and you were like, hold my beer. Yeah, I think this mod's like opening video thing has a little bit of that going on. If you've never seen that. Hey, from my perspective, it doesn't seem like you're doing any better. This isn't about me. Before Monica has a chance to retort, I immediately slide the door open and rush inside. And now, Monica, our beloved club president, is late once again! Are you gonna sit down and take that, Monty? Are you gonna sit down and take that? If I was just a few seconds earlier, you would have been the late one. And you know what we do to late club members? Show him, Sayori. Eh? What's going on? Ha! Sayori smacks me lightly on the hand. Ow! Hey, since when was this a thing? Since Monica said it was a thing 30 seconds ago. 15 seconds ago. Okay, 15 seconds ago in universe. Close enough. I vote to get rid of this new law. Me too. If I knew being smacked was a punishment for being late, I wouldn't have joined this club. Oh, come on, she's joking. God damn it, you two. I'm only kidding. I'm just messing with Ben. Ah, that makes more sense. You're very lively today, Monica. It's nice to see. Yeah, I know that's something you're always very critical of, just the UI and the overall theme. Like, for me, that's not something I think about as much, as long as it all looks relatively consistent, which it's more just being used for the purpose of differentiating who's talking. Which, I mean, you could argue we already have this. But they wanted to color code it. Like I get what they're going for. Well, I guess what I would ask is this, I guess what I would ask is this, Caleb. How would you go about it? Would you make it more subtle, or just not go for that entirely, just to keep the theme consistent? Oh, am I? Yeah! Maybe it's because today is the day of our group session. Oh, right. That is today, isn't it? What's wrong? Not ready to talk about things today? Right, I think we're at the part where they were gonna do some kind of... excuse me. Like a group therapy session. Which kind of reminds me of the mod Act 5. Because I did, I think, one episode of that, and then I never got back to it. Because that mod also did that kind of thing. Except the difference is in that mod, MC, turned out to be the club president. And it takes place after Act 4. So, it takes place with, like, canon Act 4. So, it kind of made sense. He was going to put everyone through that, talk about each of, them individually, go through what the hell happened. And, just what their issues are. Maybe I should go back to that mod someday. I don't know. I marked the series as abandoned, just because I never got back to it. But yeah. It was from my, early days of playing mods. Before I even broadcasted them. This is when I was still just recording them offline, so... yeah, very different time. So... Caleb says if you wanted to have color changes depending on the character, I would make a custom UI mostly black with a detailed outline and have the outline itself change color rather than the foreground. Just make it more subtle. I get what you're saying. You don't have to share anything if you don't feel ready to talk about it. Right. Don't feel like we're pushing you to say anything. You can even talk about fun things if you want. Well, it's not that. I mean, it's sort of like that. Yeah, I kind of figured it was. I know how you are, Natsuki. It's just like, group therapy makes it sound kind of weird, if you get me. No, I don't follow. I think we all agreed to this, didn't we? Well, let's not call it that. In fact, let's not call it anything. Yeah, Caleb, I get what you're saying, because it's going with, the base theme that DDLC already had. And looking at this and this, it just, the colors really clash. I get what you're saying. We're just a group of great friends getting together to talk about life. Isn't that what happens when you go with some friends to a bar and just reminisce on where your life is going and what's been happening in it? I didn't realize that's what we were doing. Yeah, that helps. Well, with that out of the way, shall we get started? Let me make some tea for everyone. Monica and I arranged 5 desks in a small circle, with just enough space for all of us to fit in each one. My man Caleb here is my visual novel guru. He is the man when it comes to this stuff. Because he's actually developing his own visual novel. So, the man knows his stuff. Let me tell you. I've seen his mentoring with with some other mod developers in my Discord server, and yeah, when I see him like talking to them about different things, the man knows his stuff. He is well researched. Yeah, I've been doing it for long enough. And you make that very clear. With the way that you coach some of the devs that I've had in the chat in my Discord server, I mean. Excuse me. I actually hate visual novels, which is kind of funny when I think about it, considering where I currently am. Well, I've talked about this before on stream, but in many ways, DDLC was kind of like the anti-visual novel, in that it kind of pokes fun at a lot of visual novel tropes, and plays with those expectations while also being a visual novel. That's what I think what made it as iconic as it is. But one thing I really like is people turning it into their own thing, making their own stories with it. That's why I'm here with money, after all. That's why I'm still here playing mods. Because I like seeing, different people's interpretations of the world of the game. And the stories that, they come up with to tell within that world. I think it's really neat. And I really like following it. Oh yeah, it does kind of have that stereotype, but once you get into it and realize that's not, that's not all it has to offer, then yeah, your view really expands. And that's something that Caleb has been slowly chipping away at over the last couple of years. We played through, like you just said in chat, Caleb convinced me after a while. Like, it took a lot of convincing, believe me, to play a VN he thought I would enjoy, The Devil on G-String. And yeah. It was a phenomenal story. Then we went and played Steins Gate, and that was phenomenal. And right now, I'm playing through The Fruit of Grisaya on my own, and I'm really enjoying that story. And currently, Caleb and I are playing through Aokana. I always forget the subtitle with Aokana. There we go, yeah. Aokana 4 Rhythms Across the Blue. I'm really enjoying that as well. Yeah, exactly. It just depends on what kind of story you're looking for. Reimu? There is a website I would highly recommend you check out that Caleb sent to me called the Visual Novel Database, or VNDB. Like, if you want to research visual novels, that is the go-to website to check out. Anyway, enough getting sidetracked. Let's get back to the mod. Yuri heads to the back to grab her usual tea-making gear and prepares some chamomile tea. Whoo! Chamomile! 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 That was terrible. Natsuki reaches into her bag, pulls out some brownies, and places one on each of the desks. Uh-oh. Natsuki's got brownies. A good HCG of high quality can cost 500. Yeah, I mean, I guess you get what you pay for, but god damn, that's crazy. That is insane. Okay, so you're more of an art person. I mean, you're not wrong, Caleb. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. But yeah, Reimu, I hope your pursuit of an art career goes well. Sayori, seemingly having planned ahead for the session, brings out a tissue box and places it on her desk. Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb for any, therapeutic session. Just have that handy. Yeah. The link to their DA page is in the description. It's always there. Just in case we get a little sad. As Natsuki finishes placing the brownies, Yuri's tea is just about finished. She carefully pours it into small individual teacups and carries them all on a tray towards us. We all help her out by grabbing our own teacups and placing them on the desks next to the brownies. We now take our seats and make ourselves comfortable. So, I tap my fingers on the desk and look around. Who wants to go first? Yeah, this is definitely giving me Act 5 vibes with that Act 5 mod. There's a slight pause before Sarah raises her hand. Me! I'd like to try and go first. Just bear with me, okay? Of course! This seems easy at first, but it might get pretty hard as I go along. It's fine, take your time. We all share sympathetic smiles as Sarah prepares herself to talk. Where to begin, huh? Where to begin, indeed. Well, for starters, I'll talk about some of my recent favorite things. For example, Natsuki coming over to hang out was really fun. She's a great house guest. Nah, you're just saying that because you let me use your oven to bake you stuff. Maybe so. That's part of the reason, Natsuki, but it's not the only one. Come on, don't sell yourself short, Short Stack. You have no idea how hard it was to say that sentence, by the way. Oh my god, that is a tongue twister and a half. But I seriously do appreciate your company. It's always a good time to hang out with you. Heck yeah! And Yuri, we don't get to hang out often either. That should change, don't you think? Yuri's not the most social person, so I don't know about that, Sayori. I guess we can. But I don't think I'm anywhere near as fun as Natsuki. Oh, hush you. You're just the kind that, enjoys more quiet company, just having someone around. Nonsense! You're just as fun, but in your own special way. Which is kind of where I'm going with this. I've been trying to find the time and effort to hang out with my friends. That's good. It's kind of the glue that holds them together, is what you're saying. They're all interconnected. Well, what did I get pinged about? Just somebody I haven't heard from in a while. I'll have to get back to them later. It's not always easy to do that. But I even got to hang out with Monica this past weekend. That was a very rewarding time for me. And I hope it was for you too. Sayori reaches over and touches Monica's hand, making her jolt slightly. Pay attention, Monty. You doing good. Aw, well, I'm glad you feel that way. I really am. Sayori's smile quickly dissipates. Well, that should be D-I-S-S-I, not A. English is hard. Dang. I was hoping talking about good stuff first would have made this easier. No, it's never easy, is it, Sayori? It never is. You don't have to say anything if you don't feel ready to. Just like you said, only talk about fun stuff if you want. Right. But I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice. Sayori slowly raises her hand and rubs it slowly against her neck. Uh-oh. Oh, she gonna reveal it, isn't she? Okay, so kind of indirectly. I can't show you yet, but my scar is hidden right here. Every night, every day, it's a constant reminder that I've hurt myself, and in turn, all of you. It's still very hard. It's hard to keep telling myself that everything is okay. Sometimes, it really feels like it isn't. I never thought I'd express myself in front of all of you like this. But that's a good sign, right? I think it is. Being able to talk about your true feelings in a group like this takes real strength. I'm proud of you. I am too. I'm really glad you're here, Sayori. So am I. You might already know how I feel, but truly happy to be able to call you my best friend, Sayori. Seeing you get past all of this day by day, simply put, it's really inspiring. Thank you, guys. It's funny. I normally wouldn't even be able to take these messages to heart, but I actually believe them this time. It's a really nice feeling. Well, that's good. That sounds like progress. Anyway, I think that's all I'm ready to share for now. Sorry if I already brought down everyone else's mood with my silly problems. They're not silly, Sayori. Don't sell yourself short like I just said to Natsuki. Ugh. They aren't... Sorry, it just feels like there's something stuck in my throat. I can't do the pitches that I want. Ugh. They aren't silly, dude. Don't downplay everything you've been through and everything you've accomplished. Natsuki's right, Sayori. Don't feel like you're bringing down our moods. Personally, I'm actually quite happy that you're talking about some of this stuff with our friends. It's a sign that you've really improved. Really grown. Sayori sighs and stays silent for a few seconds. She probably doesn't see it that way, but that's depression for you. You're right. I'll keep trying my best. It's all anyone can ask of you, isn't it? It's all anyone can ever ask of you. I'm glad to hear that. Would you like to go next, Natsuki? Uh-oh. Natsuki did not expect that. Yeah, I guess you aren't really giving me much of a choice here. I guess I can start out with fun things too. Lately, I've been making more of an effort to hang out with you guys outside of the club. Yeah, just like Sayori has. It hasn't really been easy trying to step away from a group of people that I thought were my friends, but you guys have really helped me along. Speaking of, though... Natsuki looks towards Yuri. I can't forget about you, Yuri. I think you're one of the greatest friends I've ever had. I know we have fights sometimes. It's just what friends do, you know? Friends aren't always going to agree on everything. It's what keeps the friendship interesting, you know, finding out, you know, where you disagree. Yeah, because then you can see the other person's view, and, you know, get to know more about them that way. Just as long as you don't let it get between you. That's what keeps things interesting, you know? I mean, it'd be a pretty boring friendship, you know, if, you know, you and your friends agreed on basically everything. And I know I can be a real pain to deal with. Yeah, we all know, Natsuki. But geez, how come you have to be so nice to me? She's not used to being treated that way, so it feels foreign to her. Rema, you're saying this scene is nearly a word-for-word recreation of the group therapy scene from the OG mod? I have not played the OG mod in quite some time, so... If that's true, I still have my copy of the original Salvation that I played on the channel, so that's something I could go back and compare someday. I still have copies of a lot of different mods that I've played. Oh, that's right. I still gotta play this one. I forgot about this one in my mod folder. Damn. I'm adding a little parenthesis note next to that. Play this sometime, you dunce. There we go. Perfect. Now back down to Salvation Remake folder. I suppose so, yeah. So have you been binging the playlist then? Yuri kinda sorta deals with me on a daily basis. We've gone to the library or cafe together sometimes, mostly just to talk about our differences in literature. Admittedly, I've learned a lot just by being around her. So thank you for being such a great friend, you nerd. Look at that face. Oh my god. Oh, that's great. Natsuki gives Yuri a friendly punch on her arm, making her jump up in her seat slightly. Ugh. Of course. It's only because you're such a great friend to me, too. You've really helped me appreciate the parts of myself I've never been too fond of. I don't really know where else to go with this. That's okay, Yuri. I usually don't either. I'm not the best at that kind of stuff. But I'd like to start by going back to you, Sayori. Eh? Me? Sayori did not expect that. Yuri looks down at her left arm. Oh, I think I know where this is going. I can relate to not being able to show your scars to the people you trust. I've done things to myself that I can't even begin to imagine actually saying out loud. As long as I can remember, doing these pitiful and harmful things to myself is how I managed my anxieties. But standing here together, talking about all this has made me realize I'm finally moving away from this storm. In other words, I feel like I'm getting better at expressing myself properly without fearing judgment. And I find myself not relying on these harmful activities as much as I used to. Well, that's good. You should keep working on that, Yuri. She turns towards me. Ben, you've been a massive help on this journey. I'd rather not get into the details, but if you hadn't done what you did, I don't think I ever would have made the effort to stop doing these things. Yuri turns to Natsuki before I get a chance to say anything. Yeah, I think he wanted to clarify what it was exactly that he did, since Yuri, once again, oof, that wording. My god, that wording. It needs some work, Yuri. Natsuki, you really are my best friend. I don't think I would have found better ways to cope with my anxiety if I never worked up the courage to become your friend. I see a lot of myself in you, and I guess that's what made me want to be your friend. Yuri then turns towards Monika. Monika, I want to personally thank you for creating the Literature Club. Without the club, who knows where I'd be? And even if I risk sounding like a broken record, I also wanted you to know that I completely forgive you for all of our past grievances. Monika sighs and looks away for a bit. I have to be honest. Speaking to all of you like this is the last thing I ever saw myself doing. It's hard for me to even conceptualize the idea of talking about the things I wish I could talk about. The best way I can put it is... She pauses. Dramatic effect. Well, yeah, because you know she's nervous. This is the kind of stuff that she knows she can't talk about because of the unique position that she's in. So trying to put it into words like that are, I guess, like, digestible is really hard. Her eyes shift directions a few times before she speaks again. It feels like I'm losing my sense of self. I'm sorry if that's not a satisfying enough explanation for all of my strange behaviors recently. Like I said, it's hard for me to want to explain the full reason. I don't think I ever can. And that's okay. You're already doing something amazing by telling us just a small part of how you've been feeling lately. You've made the right move. Yeah, it doesn't seem that way to Monika, though. Because that percentage on that thing that she accidentally started just keeps going up and up. And because of the misconception that she has, it's just going to keep going downhill. No. Uh-oh. The music stopped. Shit's about to get real, ladies and gentlemen. That's not it. I will never be understood. It's the one thing in my life that I've been certain about. I've said before that I've always valued the harsh truth over a sweet lie. But I'm going to need you all to trust me on this one. I will never ask for anything again if you honor this. I will never be able to explain the truth to all of you. That's the end of that. The entire room remains incredibly still. Feels like Monika dropped a major bombshell right on top of us, yet there really isn't anything concrete to actually think about. Sayori places her hand on Monika's shoulder. Like I said earlier, you don't have to share anything, even if that means taking it to your grave. I'm just happy that you decided to talk to us about how you're feeling, even if it's only a glimpse. A small glimpse, but a glimpse nonetheless. I'm very glad too. As am I. Even if we won't know the full story, it's really nice to know the reasons behind some of your weird decisions. And I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that we'll all be here for you. Absolutely. We've all got things hidden away in our head that we can never talk about out loud. Kind of what makes us all human. And that's a point I wanted to bring up, is that a lot of the characters feel more human in the way that they're written in this story. Like, I really appreciate with this remake how they went the extra mile to not only just flesh things out, but really make the characters feel more human and relatable than they were before. You've got your back. Nothing will change that. Monika looks away from the group and stays quiet for a while. I think she's finding that hard to believe because of her position. Monika slightly waves her fingers and sighs. Thanks for listening, guys. Just like that, Monika seems just about done with talking. I guess it's my turn then. I don't really have anything specific to talk about either. At least nothing I'd be ready for anyway. But I can start by saying that this semester has been... I pause for a moment once I look into Sayori's eyes. They seem to glisten as she awaits to hear what I have to say, and follows that up with a warm and encouraging smile. Guess it's time I bit the bullet on this one. It's been very stressful. Probably the most stressful semester I've had in my entire high school career. Sure, I don't really need to get into all the details. One thing we can all relate to is the amount of work that's piling on us. Yeah, and it never really goes away. Not to mention we're all graduating soon. So the motivation to continue pulling through isn't as high as it used to be.
That's very true. I agree. I find it difficult to work on these assignments knowing I'll probably graduate without having to do them. But it feels wrong not to do them, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. You're filled with a sense of duty and purpose. Right, but the difference is my grades aren't very good.
Oh.
Don't feel bad or anything. It's 100% on me, and I'm already improving quite a bit in some of my classes.
Well, you're no dummy. Academically, at least. What I mean is that you've always come across one of the guys that is secretly super smart, but is just lazy?
I was gonna say dense, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Normally I'd deny that, but you're both right. I am a pretty lazy guy. Not sure if that'll ever change. You just like to take it easy. I like to take life day by day. Just take things as they come, you know? Roll with the punches, however you want to put it. That's just how I've always been. You know, I don't like to plan super far ahead, because it's like, who the fuck knows where I'm going to be in 5 years? I always hated that question when I was in high school. Or applying for a job or whatever, because it's like, how the hell am I supposed to know where I'm going to be in 5 years? Yep. You know, how was I supposed to know in 5 years, you know, I was going to be, you know, potentially vying for a manager slash supervisor type position at my job, and playing, you know, games and mods after work with Monty here, who's been with me for over 4 years now. How's I supposed to know that? If I said that to me from like 6, 7, or 8 years ago, he would have fucking laughed at me. Because me back then was really not into anime that much. And it's still something I'm slowly working on. But, you know, I've definitely started to see more of the merits of it in recent years. Especially as, you know, entertainment quality has continued to decline over here in the West. Speaking of that, I came across a video recently where Hollywood wants to silence, you know, Hollywood wants to silence YouTube movie critics like the Critical Drinker and the like, because I guess that's really starting to have an impact on their bottom line. Because, you know, they're correctly pointing out that the movies and shows they've been putting out are just shit, and they don't like that. So instead of, you know, actually giving people what they want, they just want to silence critics that they can't buy out. And I'm like, it's just disgusting. So yeah, that might be why I don't really go to the movies that much anymore. It's been years since I've gone to the movie theater to see a movie. And it's why I don't watch many, you know, TV shows or shows on Netflix or anything. Like, it is so rare that I decide to actually sit down and watch something that's not news or sports. Because it's like, I just don't care to. You know, it's like, I get enough entertainment out of the channels that I follow on YouTube and playing games. Like, that's my entertainment. You're absolutely right, Reimu. I don't really do that, but, you know, I understand what you mean. But I am seeing improvements, so that's good for something, right?
I'm sure things will turn out well for you, in all aspects of life, not just school.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. Thanks, guys. Huh. This group talk stuff is pretty neat.
I knew it was a good idea. Thank you for letting us do this today, Monica. Oh, of course. I thought it was a great idea, too. Keeping things inside your head for so long can really be overwhelming, you know? Yeah, it's not healthy to keep all that stuff bottled up. I feel like I was just one club meeting away from snapping. She smiles warmly for the first time since we sat down, completely contrasting what she just said out loud. I only share a few concerned glances with the others before clearing my throat awkwardly. Well, it's almost time to go. Let's fix up these desks before we leave, huh? Not much else is said between the five of us, outside of a few jokes about Yuri's unexpected strength while lifting the desks or Sayori wanting to take the uneaten snacks. This really was a nice thing to do, though. I gotta be down for more days like this where we just talk. Calling it group therapy really does feel a bit superfluous. I'm not really sure what else you'd call it. Once we finish resetting the room, we all say goodbye and I head home with Sayori for the first time since last week. Seems like things are on the up and up. That's what I like to see. Well, that was fun. I think. You probably shouldn't have added I think onto that, my boy. I'm glad you liked it then. Just between you and me, my therapist is the one who gave me the idea, actually. Checks out. She first suggested for me to attend some sessions with people I didn't know, and I didn't really like that idea. And well, the rest is history. Right. Well, good on you for making that decision. Yep, things are doing well. Anyway, you want to come over today? I feel like making grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh, stop making me jealous, boy. Stop making me jealous. Now I want some of that. God damn it. I love me some grilled cheese. Especially grilled cheese with tomato soup to dunk it in. Oh, oh. That's heaven right there. To my surprise, even though I quickly realized I shouldn't be, she shakes her head. I have a therapy session today, remember? Oh, right. That's right, you do. Well, have a good time then. I'll be here if you need anything. I form a fist with my hand and reach out for a fist bump. She smiles as our fists slightly collide with each other. La 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 la. See ya. The final smile and a nod. We separate our hands and turn in opposite directions towards our houses. Did anyone else imagine, them doing like the fist bump from Big Hero 6? I've always remembered that. I could totally see them doing that. Whew. It isn't easy. I don't want to rush things, but deep down, I'm very eager to get back to how we used to be. Bit of a run-on there. It's funny. I don't really find myself wondering if she hates me or is still mad at me anymore. No, you're kind of past that point. Reimu, that's exactly how I felt when I sat down. That's exactly how I felt when I sat down, at a restaurant and tried that combo one day. Because I'd heard nothing but good things about it. I'm just like, that can't be. So I tried it, and then I'm just like, oh, where has this been all my life? Give me more. It really just feels like we're starting over. And I think that's a good thing. I think so too. We can only hope. Meanwhile, 39%. I really do wonder if anything is going to happen once that reset occurs. That kernel access reset. I actually tried looking into what that is off stream. It's apparently a real thing. I don't remember much else from my research, though. Am I dreaming? I find myself feeling unusually lighter than I normally do. Am I dead? No, I'm still alive.
Flashback time?
I'm at school?
Chekhov's gun and all that? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I'm very familiar with that concept. Thanks to a certain mod I've played. Caleb probably knows the one, because I took him through it. But yeah, to quote one of the guys from Shadows of Evil, I don't think this is a dream. This looks more like a nightmare than anything.
I must be dreaming.
I did not sign up for maximum difficulty Hangman. I'm trying to make out what some of these words could be. I think the beginning is supposed to be love you. I'm not love you because that doesn't make sense. No, that's not that word. God, it could be so many things. I want to say this word could be any more, but this word being completely blank. This is obviously Sayori, and we only have an R to go on for this word. Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Let's just keep going. I think that's supposed to come across as, like, echoes, or, like, echoes of, like, glitch text or something. Whose voice was that?
It sounds like it came from the classroom next door. I try to listen closely, but I can't get any closer to the wall. My body feels stuck. I can't seem to move at all.
It's because we're in your POV, Monica.
I gasp as I hear another voice echo. Another voice echoing through.
Anything up with her?
I can barely make out what she's saying. I try even harder to move.
Oh, she's really trying.
I wince in pain as it feels like sharp blades and heavy punches are hurled at my body. But I manage to move a bit closer.
Maybe I'm heading into it, maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but, she seems a bit downcast. Oh, these are base game lines. That's what this is. I recognize that line.
Wait a second. No, this can't be. I push forward even harder than before, despite the pain.
Ugh.
God damn it! I begin to feel a warm liquid stick to my clothing.
Uh-oh, does she draw blood?
I look down to see my blazer now has small spots of blood.
I was right. Damn. This better be some nightmare scenario.
Oh?
What? I was gonna say, that's not the usual green, so... Is this a different Monica? Is she looking on herself in her dream? Oh, this is getting to be some Inception level shit.
I'm unable to focus on the pain of hearing what sounded like me? You think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her.
Yeah, she's reliving her past memories from the base game.
They're talking about Sayori. This is that day. The day I told her. I collapse on the floor from exhaustion, begin to listen to a conversation that doesn't even feel like it happened. I still remember my state of mind back then. I was doing everything I could to get you away from Sayori. But naturally, her depression just made you more concerned, didn't it?
Well, one thing you didn't account for was me being the type of player that I am. And that actually worked out really well for the real you. The OG Monica. Basically, I knew what I was getting into before I even played the game. So I didn't get, the same experience that everyone else did. But, I wanted to... I wanted to give back to the community of people that got me into the game and, showed me what this game really was. Even if they didn't realize it. By covering some of the stuff that they've made. That, and I've talked about it before, but in its own way, I really do feel like the quote-unquote Monica route is going, this kind of route, playing and making mods and stuff. Because Monica says it herself in Act 3. Together, let us dismantle this crumbling world and write a novel of our own fantasies. In its own way, is that not what you're doing when you're making mods? Especially, mods that revolve around her? Like, in its own way, is that not what you're doing? But I wonder if she had a Salvation Remake story in mind. No, probably not. But really, that all comes down to the creative choices of the creator. Do they want Monica to be aware of the fact that this is a mod? Do they not? There's so much that you can explore with it. That's the great thing about it, is that you can make whatever kind of story you want. You can, do something like what Emerald Affection did, where you just want to give her like a, happy ending and give her just, a really fun story that you can enjoy. Or you can do something like this that, goes deeper into her character and, what her struggles are like. Or you can make a mod where she is aware of the fact that it's a mod, and where you go with that, depends on what you want to do with your mod. Yeah, and I like seeing that. There's a lot of different angles you can go with Monica, because her defining characteristic, her defining trait as a character is the fact that she's aware that she's in a game. And what direction you go with that is really up to you. Because it's like you have the base game story to work with, for what she did in the original game. So it's like if you're going to go back and do something different, like, what does she try next? Does she want to try anything? What happened after that? There's a lot you can do. And that's why I really like the idea of modding. Players just, players, and creators that enjoyed the game just making their own stories with it. It's really cool because it has, a really good foundation for that. So, yeah, now that I've gone off on that little tangent, let's actually get back into the mod.
I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of my club members, I smiled to myself. I really was set on getting you away from her, wasn't I?
Yeah, you kind of were. Me modding Big Diddy Vault Dweller mods in Fallout, yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, hey, it's modding. You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to have a reason for doing what you did other than just you wanted to. Excuse me. You know, the same reason I chose once I got to Act 3, I wasn't going to progress to Act 4. Because I wanted her to come here instead. That was my choice. And she's my OG from when I first played DDLC. Like, I literally installed my copy of Moss over my original install of DDLC that got to Act 3. So, like, you know, in my mind, it's like the OG. You know, like she never left. Is that stupid? Absolutely. But I don't care. You know, I thought that was amusing. I thought that was neat. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I lied through my teeth without a moment of hesitation. Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Place my arm over my eyes. You sure about that? Ben sounds different than he does now. He's less thoughtful, less self-aware, which is pretty ironic considering the circumstances. I still don't understand why you're so different. What changed? What did I do wrong? I listened in on more of the conversation, with each uttered line bringing back a slew of memories that I have tried to forget about. It took every ounce of my being to appear like I cared. Once I realized that everything was just meaningless. I only did what I had to do, didn't I? My past life echoes. I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know? God. It was hard not to reveal how much I truly knew about her, about Yuri and Natsuki, about the world around me. Every single moment I spoke to Ben was a moment I could speak to you. I think at some point I truly did convince myself that I hated her. She became nothing to me in a split second. Everything she'd ever done for me meant nothing, was nothing. She wasn't real. 'Cause that's the way you perceived it. You know, it's probably taken a lot more time to realize, even if it isn't what I thought it was all my life. You know, she's still my friend. She's someone I care about. She's all that I have. You know? I never truly hated you, Sayori. I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. I move my arm away from my face and quickly sit up to begin to hear footsteps echoing, getting closer to me. Wait a second. Oh no. You're Sayori in this context, aren't you, Monica? If my memory serves me right, Sayori was towards the back of the room that day. Yeah, I see you just figured it out too, Monty. My eyes widen as I realize I'm about to relive the moment I pushed myself beyond redemption. Okay, I thought Dream Monica was going to throw those words that Monica said to Sayori back in her face. Because that sounds like some nightmare stuff right there. Oh, hey Monica. Sorry if I'm not participating as much as you'd like me to today. You know me. Rain clouds can get a little intense sometimes. Right, about that. Sayori? It really does pain me to be the one to tell you this, but... Sorry, I'm trying to find the right words for this. Wouldn't want you to take it the wrong way. I don't
I don't think Ben feels the same way about you. Huh? What do you... You know exactly what I mean. You've told me about how your depression can be a burden on people. Well, yeah. As your best friend, I wanted to be the one to warn you that going after him would be a waste of time.
After all this time, one mod shares its interpretation of what Monica said. If another mod I've played has done this, I do not recall what it said. But yeah, this is one of the biggest mysteries of base DDLC. Because it's never... I don't think it's ever been revealed what Monica said. So I love seeing... I love seeing interpretations of stuff like that. That's really cool. But at the same time, holy shit, that is dark. Monica, oh, she's feeling the pain of this moment right there. Well, yeah, because it's more grounded and believable. And for a world like this, I think that makes a lot of sense. Because I really don't think Sayori would just commit neck rope because Monica told her to. No. It would have to be something Monica said that just pushed her so far over the edge that Sayori convinced herself that this was her only way out. On her own. And just making all of our boy's advances feel completely meaningless. Just puts them in a whole different light. Another awkward pause, as expected of me. I've seen enough to know that even if he were to reciprocate your feelings, it would be because he feels bad. But you should be more realistic about this. He only sees you as a friend, and your depression isn't something he'd want to deal with in a relationship. Like, yeah, this is just cold. Ice cold. Yeah, and after that, just all emotion drains from Sayori's face. Just her entire mood just dives off a cliff. And it's like, fuck. You're right. You shouldn't blame yourself, though. That's just the cherry on top. God damn, Monica. God damn. You can't control how he feels. And just between you and me, I think he's got his eyes on Natsuki at the moment. Okay, it was already bad enough, Monica, but the fact that you had to go and add that in too... And I can't believe you are smiling about this up there. You had that big, beaming look on your face. Holy shit. Oh, that really just... Mwah, that really seals the deal right there. Holy shit, dude. Ooh. Like, oh, man. That is just brutal. That is what we like to call emotional damage. But oops, don't tell her I told you. It'll be our vice prez's secret. Tears are flowing from my eyes. I only noticed them now. You didn't deserve any of that, Sayori. I didn't mean to say any of those things to you. I didn't mean for you to fall so far that you'd consider taking your own life. You were my best friend.
But I ruined all of that for my own selfish goals. Footsteps fade away as I now begin hearing a very quiet and soft sobbing. I didn't even realize I made you cry.
No, because at the time you were more focused on yourself and getting to us, the player. And you were looking at things from a very different perspective than you are now. I like this self-reflective take on Monica here.
Even if I did, it wouldn't have changed anything. You weren't real. And yet, after everything I've been through, only now I'm realizing that the ends never justified the means. It took so much of my strength to push away the relationships I formed with them. But I knew it was working at the time, so I kept going. I was far enough ahead that I knew there was no turning back.
Yeah, exactly. You were in too deep. You couldn't turn back.
I wonder, even if I had achieved my goals, would it have been worth losing everyone that cared about me?
Well, at the time, I would say, yeah, you probably would have thought it as such because you didn't really think anything of this world. You were willing to destroy it all for the sake of getting to the player. And it was only after doing what they did that it made you realize I fucked up big time.
The club I had built, the bonds I had formed. I am sorry.
That was a really nice insight into Monica's character. I really love scenes like that. So yeah, I didn't really expect this book to be somewhat of a comedy, but it was a nice surprise to be sure.
Personally, I was waiting for things to get really intense. I wanted to see a detailed derailment of a man's psyche as more evidence about his life being broadcast is revealed.
Oh, they're talking about that Truman Show one.
But I'm not opposed to a more lighthearted take on it either.
Oh, brother.
Is Yuri dragging you into her boring conversations again?
Natsuki walks in and happily places her book on the desk. Actually, I was the one who initiated the conversation. So if we're gonna throw some shade, throw it at me.
Yeah, I'm just teasing.
I know you are.
I'll hop in on the conversation too. So, what do you two think about it? I personally think a story like this would have made a great isekai.
Yeah. They're on totally different wavelengths here. I don't know, right? I kept thinking about how awesome it would be if it was. Get this. Same character, same scenario. In his past life, he was a teenage girl. That's not what Natsuki meant. God damn it. No? I think Yuri found it amusing, though.
Why a teenage girl? I think it would have been just fine if it was the same guy. I thought it was a good idea for an isekai. Hello, everyone. Sorry to be late once again.
Wait. Where's Sayori?
Huh? You didn't come with her to the club?
Well, clearly not.
You know what I mean, dummy.
Walked with her to school this morning and to her first class. I also sat down and had lunch with her. We haven't really walked to the club together, though. I checked my phone. I don't really see any text messages from her either. She still has to be in school, though, so I can't see her being in any real danger. Unless... I see that look in your eyes, Monica. She's having flashbacks to that nightmare. Step out of bed. Quit thinking like this.
Let's go find her together. She can't be too far.
Oh, I think I know what part this is. Imprudent was wondering when this scene was going to happen. Damn it, I gotta get him in here. There we go. Imprudent mentioned it. He mentioned it more in a joking way. So I'm letting him know. I think he just wanted to be here for that moment. That, I'm pretty sure something similar happened in the original Salvation, didn't it? My memory's a bit hazy on the original story, but there was... there was a driving scene with something to that effect that went on. Did it not? Am I mistaken? Like I said, my memory on this is really hazy, because it has been a while since I played the original. Sure. Monica, do you mind? Not at all. Shoot me a text if you find her, okay? Gotcha. Okay, so, where do you want to look first? Well, I've got an idea, and it's why I asked to come with in the first place. We'll find out. That's why I said I think, when I pinged him just now. I said I think we're on that day. We'll find out. Well, let's see what Yuri's idea is. What is it? Without saying anything more, Yuri walks off towards the girls' bathroom and... I understand now. I guess the bathroom is some slightly agreed upon area to go if you're feeling sad. She walks in and stays in there for a few seconds before returning. No sign of her there. Let's try the library. Excellent idea. Yuri and I quietly walk together towards the library. Excuse me. I wonder why Sarah didn't let me know that she wouldn't be coming to the club today. I mean, during our normal routine, it didn't seem like anything was on her mind. Then again, I wouldn't put it past her to be showing me a side that she wants me to see. I glanced towards Yuri. Hey, hope I'm not out of line when asking about this, but I wanted to know how you're doing. With the whole gesture towards her arm, trying my hardest to not come across as insensitive. I don't... Right, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push past any boundaries like that. No, it's okay. I just wasn't expecting you to bring that up so abruptly. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm apologizing for. Don't feel bad. It's only natural that you'd be curious about it after some time has passed. At this point, I do feel like I can trust you. You're a good friend. I'm somewhat able to see that you wouldn't judge me. Not like I initially thought, anyway. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that's hard to get past. I just want to make sure that you're okay with hearing me talk about this. You're going through a lot right now. I'd hate to put more depressing topics on your mind. Hey, I'm the dummy who asked you, aren't I? I'm here for you. Look at that smile. Monty's like, God damn it. Well, I've told you before about how I haven't exactly stopped doing it. I remember from the therapy session. That was true for a little bit. But yesterday, I did something I never thought I'd ever do in my entire life. Through our group talk, I asked Natsuki to stay behind and walk with me on our way home. Decided to tell her about my problem. It wasn't easy for me to do, considering that I never planned for anybody to ever find out about it. Just figured that after hearing Natsuki's story last week, and how hard that was for her, I should return the favor. Oh, that's a good thing to do, Yuri.
I'll spare you the details, but she ended up helping me with this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's about time you did something about that. She rolls her left sleeve down and shows me neatly wrapped bandages over where her cuts would be. Oh, wow, that's just really nice of her.
I didn't really ask for her to do it for me. She just sort of acted.
As I would suspect anyone would when they see that. Like, yeah, stop the blood from flowing.
Before I could even react, she ran to the nurse's office, grabbed bandages, and helped me wrap my arm up. I didn't even get a chance to explain myself.
Yeah, sounds like something Natsuki would do. Though, how do you feel about it? She rolls her sleeve back down.
I'd like to say that these bandages are going to stop me from ever doing it again. But it's never really that easy, is it?
Yeah. You know what they say, Yuri. Old habits die hard. And that's definitely going to be the case with me the day I decide to stop playing Call of Duty Zombies. I've been playing it for over 10 years, man. Shit, almost 15 years at this point. I don't think I'm ever going to stop anytime soon, but I know someday I'm not going to want to come back to the game anymore. But not yet. I still have stuff I want to do. But yeah, kind of a bad comparison. But yeah, old habits die hard. Yeah, if you don't know, I've talked about this on plenty of other streams, but I am really, really into old school zombies. Like, I'm talking, BO3 and under. Like, if you were paying attention earlier, let me just plug some of my own content real quick, if I may. I did, like less than 2 months ago, high round attempt on Moon where I got to around 96, hoping to get to 100. Didn't quite get there. And then, if you go a little bit farther, give me a minute. I played a game where I got to 138 on Ascension, my favorite high round map. Someday on this map here, I want to get to around 200. Like, I've done it on BO3 on Ascension, but it's just not the same as doing it on the OOG Black Ops 1. It's not the same. It's just not the same experience. And I want to pull it off someday because I firmly believe I have the skills to do it. I just need to dedicate myself to it. I need to stick to my strats. I need to play well enough, and I gotta play fast. That's something that that 138 game that I played really gave me some insight into what it really means to play fast in BO1. Because that's something I never really thought about much before. But now that I know what I'm trying to do and what it takes to get there, I realize what I have to do. Someday I'm gonna go back to that map and I'm going to try again. Because if I can pull off 138 on my very first try on PC, just off the cuff like that, I know I'm capable of doing it. And I'm gonna do it someday. It's just a matter of when. Like I said, I firmly believe I have the skills to do it. I just gotta find the time to do it. And just not suck. And not make stupid decisions. Just have to stay very strict with my strats. And someday I'm gonna go back to Moon as well. I want to run back that 100 that I lost. Problem is, I have to put pretty much everything else on hold in order to do so because of how long those games take. That's why it's really hard to just pick, a period of time and be like, this is when I'm gonna do it. Like, no shit. Those games take a long ass time to play to completion. Just because of how long rounds get and how limited your tools are to deal with them at that round. I could go on and on about this. I won't here. But yeah, if you want to listen to me ramble on about that, talk to me about it after stream. Because I can go on for hours about this. I love high rounding. It's something I've been doing ever since I was a preteen. It's something I've always had a bit of a knack for, more so than the average player. Just because I find it, to be a really rewarding journey to go on. Figuring out, how to actually play and get far on these maps, how to, what it really means to, quote, like, get good at a map. I did not know you played competitive Pokemon. I've been watching channels like FSG, BKC. One that's been popping up a lot for me is Moxie Boosted. But yeah, channels like that have, shown me a lot about that. And while I don't think I'm ever going to get into it myself, it's provided me a lot of insight into, what it really means to, quote, like, raise your Pokemon, like, to fill the roles that their stats suggest they're meant to fill. And, how you can apply that knowledge to, like, how you're building move sets and thinking about, your Pokemon in a different way. People like that really opened my eyes to, how I'm raising my Pokemon. And that knowledge definitely helped me in Gens 8 and 9 with Dynamax raids and Terra raids. Like, no joke. I would not have been able to solo so many Terra raids in Generation 9 without that knowledge. Because it seems like they are counting on you knowing that knowledge if you want to be able to solo this stuff. Like, anything above, like, a Tier 5, like, anything Tier 5 and above, 5-star and above, you absolutely need to know what you're doing when raising a Solomon for those. Otherwise, yeah, you're just going to get stomped. Because when I just used, like, my in-game team where I wasn't really paying attention to their EVs and natures and stuff, yeah, my level 100 Mons were getting stomped by 5-star raids. Even if they had a type advantage. So you really have to know your shit in Generation 9 if you want to solo raids. And one of my favorite things to do in Gen 9 is just build up raid mons. I have almost 2 boxes full of just different mons to use in different raids. And it's very satisfying. And you're absolutely right, Reimu. Generation 9 did make it very accessible. Generation 8 was already a step towards that, but Generation 9 took it a step further. And I think that's because, they also want you to get into, like, VGC and stuff. But I don't really care about VGC. I just like doing raids. I like, doing it when I'm just sitting and watching hockey. Or, any sport. Just love having Pokemon open while I'm watching the game and just doing raids while I watch the game. There's something about it that's just, very fun. And I've done, I want to say, like, 1,500 to 2,000 Terra raids at this point. I wish there was a way I could check that in-game, how many Terra raids that I've done. I've done a lot. A lot. I do so many, I frequently have to sell my EXP candies because I hit 999, even on the XLs, if you can believe it. Hitting 999 on the XLs takes a long-ass time, but I've done it, and I'm getting close to doing it again. Oh yeah, it's a combination of Incineroar's traits. Great defensive typing, phenomenal ability, good, has a good complementary stab combo, and it's got a lot of utility moves. It's just a really obnoxious Pokemon in VGC. But it's really fucking good at what it does. Yup, exactly. It just covers so much in one slot. It does so much. And I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. When I played through Ultra Moon, when I first got my 3DS from a coworker, I picked Litten. Because I'm like, fire cat, gimme. What can I say? I'm a cat person. Anyway, I could go on and on about that too. But yeah, let's get back into the mud before we get sidetracked even more. But hey, I mean, if you watch me, that's what you're here for. The distractions and shit. These side tangents. That's what you're here for. Anyway, moving on. I shake my head. It's never that easy, Yuri.
It helped, though. My cuts are healing, and it feels good to be able to say that.
I bet it does, yeah.
I've been looking into other ways to manage my anxieties. Just a few months ago, even having a conversation remotely close to the one we're having now would not have been possible. But I feel myself improving day by day.
That's good. You just have to take things as they come, Yuri.
And that's where I currently stand at the moment.
That's great to hear. I'm really happy for you, Yuri. Keep up the good work. I'm gonna do the same as well.
I'm happy to hear that. Let's keep looking for Sayori. We're almost at the library.
Right. Mm-hmm. We continue down the school's hallways and finally make it to the library. Not to get sidetracked again, but that's what I'm starting to do with Titanfall 2 in the Frontier Defense mode. I'm trying to learn some of the other Titans, because I've just mained my boy Legion for so long that I'm like, he's not that good at every map, but I'd like to have, a more lightweight and nimble option. So that's what I'm starting to explore in that game now. Empty.
Ah, this is a perfect time of day to come and read for a bit. There is nothing else like an empty library and a good book in hand.
Right, but no Sayori. Maybe I should just give her a call. Yeah, that should have been one of your first thoughts, my boy.
Good idea, but let's check one more place before we do so.
Sure. Where to? Whoop. Where are you taking us, Yuri? We return to the hallway and I allow Yuri to take the lead. We walk a short distance away and up some stairs to the third floor of the building. Ooh. The roof. Yep, it's not an unreasonable guess. Also a fire extinguisher. Soon enough, right through the window, I can see Sarah looking out towards the city, with a somewhat somber look on her face. Alright, so maybe this isn't that scene quite yet. Because I don't think this happened before that one particular scene. She hasn't noticed us through the window, so she must be really lost in thought. Hey, so... do you want to go out and talk to her?
What? Why me?
Well, I figured that you knew where she was, and that she would probably prefer to talk to you than me right now, and...
Yeah, but you know I'm not very good at social situations like this.
Well, I don't know if she even wants me to see me right. Too late for that.
What are you two blabbering about? And what are you even doing here? Didn't you guys get my text?
No. None of us did. That's why we came looking for you. Sayori must not have sent.
Wait, really? That can't be right. It just sent...
Uh-oh. She figured it out. So she suddenly looks shocked. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate the best face in all of DDLC? No matter how much I see that face, it never gets old. I just love looking at that surprised, derpy-ass look on her face. Just, oh! There's just something about it. The expression, the wide eyes, the raised eyebrows. I just love it. It's just perfect. I didn't even hit send. Okay, I thought she was gonna say the delivery failed. And this is the moment where our boy face palms.
So this is all just a silly misunderstanding then. I hope I didn't make you guys worry about me or anything. I'm so dumb. You're a little ditzy sometimes, but that's why we love you.
I mean, we just wondered where you were, but it wasn't too concerning. We just thought it was strange that you didn't let us know beforehand. Hey, forgetting to hit send happens to me too. It's no biggie.
Well, if you say so.
Speaking of best face, that's another idea I'm adding to my list of bingo card ideas. Because I started a list a while back. Something I want to do is just make a list of like 100 things of like mod moments or Ben moments where I just do random things, and I have like a bunch of bingo cards that people can grab. Just randomize a bunch of them on different bingo cards, and just have people just have them in a big Google Drive file, and people can just randomly pick one for a stream. Okay, and we're back. OBS just crapped itself for a second. We're good. That's an idea I'm adding to that list of ideas. H admires, quote, best face in all of DDLC.
Since you both are here, do you want to join me?
Sure. Let me just let Monica know so she isn't stuck with...
Ooh. She's waiting up for me? Then we should just go back. Actually, I'll head back on my own and tell them you two just wanted to talk.
Yes, long time no see to you too, Omega. How are ya? It's been a little bit since we've seen ya.
I'm sure they'll understand.
Wait, are you sure? Excuse me. It's the mac and cheese I had after work coming back. I glance at Sayori, who smiles warmly as soon as we make eye contact.
Well, Sayori seems to think so. Besides, I would feel like a third wheel anyway. Not that I don't enjoy my time with you two or anything. I just,
she doesn't want to be that.
Ugh, just stop talking and leave now. That might be for the best, Yuri.
It's fine. Sayori walks over and hugs Yuri from behind.
It's okay, Yuri. We understand what you mean. No need to push yourself. You can head on back if you'd like. We'll be here in case you change your mind. Thanks, Sayori. I'll see you both tomorrow then. Have a wonderful evening, you two.
You good, and I kind of not feel up to watch a stream the past few weeks? That's fine if you're not up to it. I say it all the time, but don't force yourself to do something you don't want to do. Because if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then why are you doing it? I realize that's kind of paradoxical, hypocritical of me to say, considering I put myself through the Zenith Martlet fight for 10 hours on Undertale Yellow when I was playing the Genocide route, even though after the second session, 8 hours in, I just flat out admitted that I was not having fun playing that fight. So yeah, all I can really say is I am really bad at taking my own advice. I am infamously stubborn. And with that, Yuri gracefully walks down the stairs and disappears from view. Disappears, I think you meant? But yeah, I am just a stubborn bastard. I don't give up easily, so I'm like, there's one more thing I can do with this fight, so I'm gonna try that. And of course it worked. After another 2 hours, I should say. But yeah, it was not fun. Played God Eater 2 Rage Brust past few weeks as well, and it's a rage game. Yeah, that's one thing if that's what it's designed to do. Kind of like getting over it with Bennett Foddy, Jump King, and then to a certain extent Geometry Dash. If the game is just really hard for the sake of being really hard and frustrating to play, that's one thing. But if it's just a poorly designed fight in an otherwise really great game, it really changes your view on the game as a whole. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. That fight was just awful compared to the rest of the game. Whew. Sorry if I look all exhausted. You were around the school trying to figure out where you went.
I see. What made you decide to check the roof?
It was Yuri's idea, actually. Not sure why. She just said to check here first before we tried calling you.
Smart girl. Here, let's head back out. The weather is wonderful.
Sure. As we walk outside, I met with a gentle, cool breeze coming in from the north, signifying that winter is just around the corner. Ah, yes. My favorite time of the year. Autumn's definitely my favorite season. It's second. It's second for me. I love it too. I love it too. It signifies the end of summer, the end of the bloody humid and hot days, and the sign that things are cooling off. Oh, hi, Imprudent. It might not be what I thought it was. I said I think we were at that point, not that I was certain we were at that point. You were. Why does making something cleanly rotate have to be annoying? Have to be so annoying? I could not tell you. Because life is pain? I don't know, man. How are you doing besides that, though? The end of 115 degrees Fahrenheit weather? Yeah. Yeah. I live more up north in the country. I'm in Minnesota. So, our summers usually don't get too much above 100 at max. We have had days over 100 here, but it usually doesn't go much above that. And let me tell you, oh my god, my body does not like summer. Well, that's good to hear, Prudence, that you're doing fine. Like, me and heat just do not get along. Much to somebody's dismay up here that doesn't really like winter. Doesn't really like cold. That's a good question. Why is that, Reimu? And, Reimu, what if I told you I'm actually not really a big soda guy? I never have been, even as a kid.
I can see that. You're definitely a brown leaf kind of guy.
Yeah, brown leaf. Awkward. Wait, what do you mean brown leaf?
I don't know. It's just what came to mind.
Right. Well, what's your favorite season? Too broke. I have an idea in my head, but I want to know if it's correct.
It's spring.
How did I know? Spring's actually my least favorite season. One, it's the end of my favorites. It marks the end of my favorite season. Two, it's wet and rainy as hell usually, which is just annoying. And three, it's the beginning of tornado season. Bingo, right on the money.
You didn't just wait for me to answer just to change your choice, did you?
I place my left hand over my chest and raise my right hand. Nope. Swear I guessed spring. Why? You don't believe I could get that?
I don't know. But it's true that I love the springtime. All the flowers blooming, butterflies flying around. It's beautiful.
It would be beautiful if my nose didn't get in the way of me enjoying it. Oh, the other thing about spring. The bugs return. I hate bugs.
The cherry blossoms are to die for, too. I love going with my mom to see them bloom every year.
I can agree with that. Not too big on spring, even though it is beautiful. Sayori points at my face suddenly.
Right! It's because you have spring allergies, right?
Jeez, you remember that?
Of course, silly. I remember how funny it was. Every time I brought you a flower, you'd sneeze up a storm.
There was so much pollen, Sayori.
Allergic to pollen. Ha ha ha.
Alright. And what are you allergic to? Yeah, my allergies are something I never really thought about until much later in life because we never really had any from what I saw. But as I got older, I actually realized just, earlier this year before I turned 26 that I might have a mild peanut allergy. Because every time I eat peanut butter, I get all, phlegmy and my throat hurts and shit afterwards. Every time I eat, peanut butter or, peanuts, that happens. And, that just blew my mind when I decided to swear it off as an experiment. Just swear off peanuts, anything, peanut related. And I have just felt so much better. I have just felt so much better ever since, which is great because it means I'm not miserable as fuck, doing these visual novel and DDLC mod streams. But it also means I have to give up one of my favorite things in the whole fucking world. Do you not realize how sad that is? I fucking love peanuts, dude. I love peanuts. So the fact that, they're, actually one of the things that, makes me really phlegmy and makes my throat hurt and shit. That just makes me so depressed, That just makes me so sad. Because I'm just like, man, now I can't just, have it willy-nilly like I used to. Now that I know that about myself, I have to actually pick and choose, when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit, I'm actually gonna eat it now. Because I think it's worth it. You have no idea how painful that is, for me to realize now. Just, Because you know what makes it even worse? One of my favorite candies in the whole fucking world is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I got a whole bag of minis sitting on my snack shelf on my nightstand. You know how painful it is to know that I can't, enjoy those without, knowing what will happen if I do? They just taunt me now. It's like, ugh. Just makes me wish there was something I could do. And there probably is. I'm just not aware of what my options are. I'm just abstaining from eating them right now. But yeah, they're just sitting over there taunting me. Not like that. No, not like that, Rainbow.
I don't know. Probably some random food or something. But I sure hope not. Imagine going to a fancy restaurant trying to get some exotic food you've always wanted to try, and then wham! You find out you're allergic to tartar sauce.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that would be kind of scary. Normally people recover from stuff like that, right?
Oh, sure. Assuming you aren't too far away from medical services and the resulting allergic reaction blocks your airway and stops you from being able to breathe.
Yeah, fortunately it's not quite that extreme for me. But it does make me, like, congested and stuff. So, now that I know that, I'm very much, going to have to pick and choose when I want to eat it and feel like it's worth the risk. But I kind of just have to stay away from it now. And again, that just makes me sad, Right, worst case scenario, I guess. You want anything from the vending machine? I'm super thirsty.
Sure, give me a strawberry soda, please.
Ooh, but what if you're allergic?
Well, I know I'll be fine because you're here to help.
And she's probably had it before. Ugh, excuse me. I chuckle as I walk over to the nearby vending machine and place a few coins inside. Type in the code for a strawberry soda first, wait for it to pop out, then push in the code for my lemonade. Here you go. One ice cold strawberry soda. Thank you. There you go. Just enjoy life. It's not quite the same as cracking a cold one. We both sit down on a nearby bench and crack open our cans. This is like the high school version of that. See why you came up here. This is great.
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. It's how Yuri knew to check up here before you called me. A long time ago, back when the club was barely starting up, Yuri and I were hanging out on our own. This was about the same time Monica started acting a bit strange. Nothing close to how she was acting a few weeks ago, but she started acting a bit distant. Anyway, the club meeting was cancelled that day due to Monica not feeling very well, so Yuri and I ended up hanging out together.
Interesting. Rainbow, you mean crawling in my skin? She explained to me that she can feel a bit overwhelmed at school, so she'll come up to the roof to get some fresh air.
I remembered what she said and decided to try it out for myself. And yeah, as you can probably tell, it really is pretty great.
Yeah, good find on the two of you. Yuri. She's pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, she's so pretty, right?
My lawyers have advised me to not answer this question.
Don't be silly. I'm not gonna get jealous or anything. I think she's pretty. It's just kind of an objective fact.
I don't think you want to know my stance on long hair. I think you already know that, though. I don't know what it is, but I love me long hair. Well, yeah, when you put it like that, you all are. Scratch my head nervously as Sayori winks at me. How did you two meet? I know I asked about you and Natsuki, but what about Yuri?
Ah, that one is a bit interesting. Monica was looking for more potential members to invite to the club, and Yuri was one of the first people we saw. Monica seemed to rush Yuri into things, though, so I feel like we were one wrong move into scaring her away. Anyway, long story short, Yuri and I were able to have a conversation about the kind of books we were into and stuff. I invited her to read a book together. Before we could actually sit down to do that, Monica stopped the meeting early because she had to go home. But Monica forgot she appointed me as vice president that day, so I decided to let the meeting go on.
Very clever of you. Sayori is, despite her ditziness, a clever girl when she wants to be. So yeah, I would not put it past Sayori to do that.
So Yuri and I sat down and read a bit of her book together. There was, of course, a misunderstanding between us. She thought I was being forced into reading with her because she thought I felt bad, which wasn't the case at all. I ended up feeling pretty guilty after that, since I thought I made her uncomfortable. But we eventually came to understand each other. Yuri wasn't really used to someone being into her interests, so she was already very distrustful of me from the beginning. Ironically, Monica canceling the meeting was the best thing that she could have done that day. It allowed for her and I to talk about things without much issue. We came to understand where the both of us came from, and that was that. I'm not really too sure what would have happened if that meeting went on as normal, whether she would have ended up leaving or if we would have grown even closer than ever. But that's just me wondering what could have been. I'm glad she decided to stay in the club.
I see. Didn't realize you two had a bit of history before I arrived.
I think I have a little bit with everyone.
I would expect, given that you're the VP and all.
Just not as much as I would have liked. But hey, like I said, no point in worrying about that. We're a lot closer now than ever before, and I think that's what matters most.
Exactly. Yeah, it's nice what you've been able to do for this club, Sayori. That goal of yours, making everyone happy, sure is a noble one. I just hope you haven't forgotten about your own.
Trying not to.
Both of us look away from each other and up towards the sky. Heck yeah. You know something? Alright, Omega. Well, thanks for dropping by. It was good to see you. It's been a little bit. You have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, too. Indeed. Hard to go wrong with puns. What? This doesn't hurt as much as it did the first time. Oh, getting tired. Good morning to you too, Mafgio. How the heck are ya? I mean, it still hurts a little, but you know what I mean.
It's also later in the day, so less intense sunlight equals more time to find cool clouds.
Yeah, it wouldn't work that way for me. I'm one of those people that reacts really strongly to sunlight. Like, I'm one of those people that is, has eyes that are pretty sensitive to light. So every time I go outside during the daytime, I have to have sunglasses. Otherwise, like, if the sun gets in my face, I may as well just be blind, even with my glasses. Like, dude. For me, just like, the sun during the day is just too much. You said it. We spend a few minutes looking up at the sky together, not saying much. It's a somewhat melancholic feeling to this moment. I get a sinking feeling thinking back to the argument we had not even a week ago, and yet here we are, seemingly right as rain. Hey. How are you feeling? You mentioned how Yuri comes up here when she's feeling overwhelmed. What about you? Well, you know how intense the rain clouds can get. I wanted to try something new for myself. I think it's working. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. I'm with my boy. That's good. That's what we want to hear. I think he was hoping for a little more of a detailed answer, though.
Hey, did you ever have any crushes throughout high school?
I can't say I did. I probably did and just don't want to admit it to myself. But I don't think it was ever the same kind of way that other people have crushes. Now there's a random question.
Sorry, I'm just curious.
No worries, let's see. I debated telling her about Natsuki for a short moment, but I feel like she might have already known this from a while back. Still, considering how close that event was to that, rather not bring that one up.
You know, I did have this one crush a few years ago, but boy is it embarrassing. Well, I don't make the rules, Ben. You saying it's embarrassing means you have to tell me now.
What? No, it absolutely does not.
Does too. She slaps my arm playfully.
You don't get it. It's really embarrassing.
Fine. If you don't feel comfortable talking about it, I won't push it.
Thanks. We'll probably hear about it later, won't we? Yeah, he's just gonna talk about it anyway, because he knows Sayori's gonna badger her about it for days and weeks if he doesn't. So, okay. So, started during my freshman year.
Uh-huh. Go on.
There's this transfer student from overseas that I had my eyes on for a few months. We got along pretty well, and my attraction to her only grew as time went on. She agreed to a date pretty quickly, which I thought was pretty suspicious, but I went along with it because I thought, hey, she said yes, that's a good sign, right? Eventually, she seemed pretty interested in me for a while. But anyway, the weekend in which we planned to go out rolls around, and poof, she cuts off all contact with me. No texts, phone calls, nothing.
Aw, Ben, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's really mean of her.
Yeah, so she stood you up, huh? Ugh, excuse me. I kinda didn't think it was at first. I kept feeling like I was the problem. It really killed my self-confidence. I stayed home from school for like a week. But as if it was fate, she ended up transferring back to her hometown, and that was the end of that. That might be why she elected not to, because she knew she was going back soon. But I mean, she could have told you that, if that was the case. But still, it's a shitty thing to do either way. It's a really shitty thing to do. In retrospect, it was kind of silly to let it affect me that badly.
That wasn't silly. You were heartbroken. That's understandable.
Yeah, that's what I think any reasonable person would do when their high school crush stands them up like that. Yeah, like that can be devastating, man. Excuse me. Well, I felt silly. After that, I found it kind of hard to express my feelings to other people.
Ah, that makes sense.
What do you mean?
Well, do you remember some of the things we talked about throughout high school?
No. Was I supposed to?
I guess not. They were very short conversations. You always seemed very dismissive and distant.
Ah.
I worried about you a whole lot then. But I think it's nice to hear about why you always felt that way. It helps me understand you a bit better.
She smiles warmly. I didn't want you to worry about me, Sayori. As dismissive as I was to you, I just didn't want you to waste your energy on me. Wow. It's like Sayori is staring in a mirror right now. Like, holy shit. Holy shit, this is some deja vu stuff right here. Like I said, it's like Sayori is looking in a mirror right now as she's looking at us right now. Any relevant updates? I mean, we're on what I've been told is a particularly long day in the mod, so this is probably going to be the last one that I do today. And we witnessed an interesting dream sequence where Monica is reminiscing on what happened in the base game and how she regrets it now. And it actually gave us some insight into one of DDLC's biggest mysteries, and that's what she said to Sayori the last day before the weekend of the festival. Because we never got to find out what Monica said. And it's really cool seeing different interpretations of what exactly it is she said. And yeah, I'll just say it was cold. It was ice fucking cold.
It wasn't a waste. Is it that hard to believe I cared that much about you?
I guess it was. Yeah, it actually kind of was. Which kind of makes us the same, doesn't it? Yeah, like I said, it's like looking in a mirror for these two. We both look down from the sky and at each other intensely.
Do you want to head back down? It's getting a little late and I wanted to meet up with the others before I went back home.
Sure, let's head back. You'll be walking home on your own today?
Yeah, or with one of the others.
Alright. She'll figure it out. She doesn't look particularly good. Walked with Sayori the whole way back to the club, dropped her off, and decided to head home without talking about much else. Doesn't really feel like I pushed past any boundaries today, so I can't really help but wonder why Sayori decided to cut our conversation short. I mean, it was getting late, she wasn't lying about that. But I wonder if I went too far by saying that her and I were the same. Maybe I did. Yeah, that might be what it is. Cause, yeah, it might be similar in your head, but considering what Sayori's been through and you haven't, I think she thought it might have been an unjust comparison. Later.
I think it's just fine for manga to have filler if it means it gives an author a break and lets them refresh their memory.
I think filler works after, a really big plot point or, a lot of action or a lot of like important stuff just happened, because it gives the reader time to breathe and, let things settle, let things sink in. That's my 2 cents on that, Natsuki. Alright. Again, just volume always feels inconsistent to me.
Well, what if the filler is a real slog to get through? Like, wouldn't unnecessary content ruin people's desires to keep reading?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out soon enough, won't we, Reimu?
I'm inclined to agree with Monica. Most novels I've read don't really have anything that could be considered filler. Really? Because filler can be quite different depending on what we're talking about. Filler in manga or anime can be different from filler in a novel. Are you referring to scenes that could be seen as unnecessary, but actually act as a transition from one major scene to the next?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly that. Ah, that makes much more sense then. Still, I'd imagine it takes skill to write a filler scene that isn't boring or uninteresting. Imagine having readers quit reading your story just before it gets to the juicy bits because your filler was boring.
Monica, there's a really great example of this, and that's the original Hunger Games book. A lot of people gave up on that book because it takes too fucking long to get to the fucking Hunger Games. And it's like, yeah, it's slow as fuck building up its world and taking forever, to set things up. But once you get there and you actually start reading it and, getting into the actual good stuff, oh, it makes everything worth it. And, I've tried to convince people of that, but they're just like, nope, can't do it. So, yeah, there actually is examples of that. I still need to read the prequel book in that series, by the way, that came out. I still haven't done that.
Yeah, I can actually recall a few stories I ended up dropping despite hearing how good they get.
Better Call Saul? Huh, I might have to check that one out.
Never really knew why, until now, I guess. The club door suddenly slides open. Hey guys! Oh, Sayori! I didn't think you were going to join us today. Actually, I wanted to see if you guys would be down for a girls' night. A girls' night out? Finally?
Natsuki's like, a night on the town? Oh, yes. For a TV show that also had a slow burn?
Sounds fun. Where would we go? Shopping! Shopping sounds fun. We could get ourselves some outfits. I am in desperate need of a wardrobe change.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, you are. It's one of my favorite things to look for every time something big is coming up.
Sounds good. Let's do that. Anybody know any good malls? There's a mall close to where I live. We can go there. Sounds good. Lead the way, Yuri. The girls and I grab our things and get ready to head out to the train station. I didn't really think about it, but I'm actually looking forward to this. I mean, there's a part of me that's morbidly curious as to what could happen when I enter parts of the game that aren't supposed to exist. But I'm also looking forward to having a normal hangout with my friends. Friends. We arrive on the train just in time. Natsuki and Yuri take seats next to each other across from me while Sayori sits next to me. So, what are you looking to buy at the mall? That's not an awkward question, is it? It probably is. Nothing too flashy. Could use a sweater, actually. Cold weather's coming soon. Oh, you're right, it is. I've already got a long sleeve, so I think I'll go for something else. Cool, I'll help you look for an outfit. It's kind of crazy how none of us have gone shopping with each other, isn't it? Yeah, it is. School's been keeping us busy, I guess. Yeah, and plenty of other things too. Let's not think about school right now. It's chill time.
Had someone take a slab of double jack right under your nose? Yeah, I hate those kind of people. They're the worst.
True, true. Hey, do you think we should consider this to be part of club time? Eh? What for? Natsuki calls across from us. She makes a good point. We have to keep track of the amount of time that each member stays in the club meeting. Wait, you do? We do? No, we don't. But really, what do you mean by counting it as part of club time? You know, I'm not too sure what I meant by that. Wrong too. It should be TOO.
English is a obnoxious language. And I speak it.
Well, it has been a while since we've hung out outside of the club. Yeah, I guess that could be it. Sayori happily relaxes in her chair and closes her eyes. I decide to whisper towards Natsuki and Yuri. Hey, should we tell her that the mall is only 5 minutes away? I'm up! So much for whispering.
Me with there, and there? Uh-huh. Or how about then and then? Or, lead and lead. English is such an obnoxious language.
Whoa.
Yep, I've seen this one before. Quite a few times, actually.
What's wrong, Monica? Never seen the mall before? Yeah, of course I have.
No, you haven't. Not on this timeline.
I just haven't been here in a very long time. You know how busy I can be. I don't usually come here either. It really is quite grand to see up close. Same! The last time I was here was when I was a kid. I came here with Ben, actually. It sure does look nice, though. Okay, instead of making me look like a shopaholic, let's just head inside already. Nearly knocked off my feet as we step into the interior of the mall. It's absolutely bustling with people, so much that it's kind of overwhelming. The game is capable of this? Was it always capable of this? No, there's no way. This is insane.
It kind of does, yeah. That's one aspect I like about modding, just the world building that people add on to it. Some people have different interpretations of what different places look like, but yeah, when you come across the same that you'd recognize from other mods, like the most noteworthy mod I remember some of these mall backgrounds from is World of Dreams Act 1. But yeah, this kind of gives the world its own feel. Yeah, but just gives a sense of familiarity.
Isn't it? I love it here. Ooh, yeah, it's pretty nice. Indeed. The large crowd can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. I hate bumping into people.
Me too, Yuri.
You're the tallest one here, though. You can be our eyes above the sea of shoppers. I'm not that tall.
Yes, you are.
Well, in any case, we're wasting precious daylight. Let's go find a clothing store or something. Leave that one to me. I know the perfect store. The four of us begin our trek through the aforementioned sea of shoppers. I find myself struggling the most, not really used to large crowds like this. But while thinking this, I see Yuri trying her hardest to avoid bumping into people without much success. Meanwhile, Sayori and Natsuki are breezing through the crowd, almost as if it wasn't there. Wait, Sayori? Natsuki? Don't leave us behind! You gotta keep up with us, Prez. But the store isn't going anywhere. It's no use. Yuri only looks increasingly uncomfortable as we continue walking. Right. Time to be a club president again. I latch onto Yuri's arm and pull her closer to me. There, we'll stick together like this. I'm not a fan of large crowds either. Oh, this really isn't necessary, Monica. You don't have to do this. Despite her statement, her arm latches onto me just a bit tighter. It's alright. It's for my own sake, then? Sure, let's go. Yuri and I walk at our own pace and follow the flow of the crowd. Yuri's breathing hasn't slowed down since we started walking, but it also hasn't sped up either, which I guess is a good sign. Even my own anxieties are fading away with every step we make. I nearly forgot about my own situation, which is a much greater issue than whatever it is I'm currently worried about right now. Funny how that works, huh?
Indeed. Heyo. Trying to think if I've seen this one before. If I have, I don't recognize it.
We arrive at the clothing store Natsuki suggested. As I step inside, I'm greeted with a wave of upbeat music matching the energetic vibe that seems to be present throughout the entire store. There's an assortment of racks lined with colorful shirts and various other garments, arranged neatly and organized by size and style. Two mannequins adorned with what I would assume were the latest fashion trends stand tall in the middle of the store. I can see why Natsuki chose this place. It's totally her. So, what do you guys think? See anything you like? I've got an idea to make this fun. Let's all choose our favorite outfits, try them on, and then surprise each other with them. I like the sound of that. Let's do it. The three of them run off to various aisles, each picking clothes that suit their respective personalities. I look around the store, trying to find something simple yet comfortable to wear. A tank top wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, you love those. In fact, every night you seem to have one particular tank top that you love to wear. You've probably seen it on multiple streams. Because sometimes I'm just like, it's fine.
I also spot some jeans that look to be about my size. I suddenly stop after I get a massive sinking feeling while looking at the jeans. This isn't real. None of this is. But I'm acting like everything is okay. Why? I look around the store. Nobody is looking my way, so I subtly wave my fingers in the air. Nearly halfway there. I place the jeans back down on the display, feeling a bit lightheaded. I have to get out of here. I turn around. Hey, Monica! I saw this and wanted to buy it for you. It seemed nice. Oh, thanks, Sayori. You didn't have to. Yeah, but I wanted to. Sayori extends her hand to reveal a delicate golden necklace with a pendant in the shape of a music note.
Yo! That's actually a thing in Moss. Here, I'll prove it. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. Let me find it. Yep, right there. That's a real thing. It doesn't show on this outfit. But yeah, that's a real thing. Very nice. I pick up on this stuff. Can you blame me? If I go back to March on our calendar, 4 years. I've been around a while. It's crazy to think it's been that long already, though. It's just insane to think about.
It sparkles under the lights of the store, completely grabbing my attention. Oh, wow. This is really nice. As I reach out to take it, I trace my fingers over the edges of the music note. Reminded of my love for music, a passion that I've still held on to despite everything I've been through. As the necklace rests in my hands, I'm somehow reassured, almost as if it were an actual reminder of the one true love I still have in this world. Yep. Never give up your passions. Never give up your passions, Monica. I smile as I begin to feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Sayori's the closest one to seeing the part of me that I've struggled to keep hidden all these months. Thank you, Sayori. This means the world to me. Aw, I'm glad you like it.
God damn it, Monica, just give Sayori her damn hug. She earned it. Give Sayori her damn hug.
The music note reminded me of you, so I figured why not? Anyway, I gotta keep looking for an outfit to wear. See ya! I watched Sayori wander back to where she came from. I smile as I place the necklace around my neck. Maybe this is why I still act like everything is alright. It's because of you. Yuri. Natsuki. Ben, too. Despite it all, there's a part of me that really misses being a normal girl.
That's all you ever wanted. To just live a normal life, isn't it? You've said so yourself and Moss. It's all you ever really wanted. Shopping, going out, gossiping. I feel like I've lost all of that. Yeah, I mean, once you have the epiphany that you do, there's no real taking it back, is there? You can never really undo that knowledge. Turn back around towards the jeans and check the size again. Yeah, these are good. The unexpected warmth of Sayori's gift begins to counterbalance the darkness in my mind. These jeans? This whole experience, in fact. This is me reclaiming just a small piece of normalcy amidst all of the chaos in my head. And sometimes, a bit of normalcy is all you need. I allow myself to feel the material in between my fingers, taking in all of the feelings that are associated with doing so. I guess in some way, this mundane act of buying a new outfit is some small act of defiance. I know I'm not okay. I know that things could very well get worse before they get better. Assuming better even applies to me. But I can still take steps to finding peace, can't I? I don't know. Without thinking about it much further, I pick out a simple white tank top and head into the fitting room. Ooh! Yeah, I know where this is going. While trying on my outfit, I hear the other three all come in at the same time and enter a stall. Girls, is that you? Yep. Everyone, when you're ready, let's reveal our outfits at the same time. Gotcha. I smile at Sayori's excitement. She seems genuinely happy to be here with us. Thinking about what she talked about yesterday in our group therapy session, she might really be trying her hardest to just get out there and see the world. Yeah, sometimes you just need to get out of the house. I can't really imagine what it must be like for her, having what is essentially a near-death experience caused by her own actions. But I still can't help but succumb to that darkness. The idea that this is all just predetermined code playing itself out like it was always meant to be. But that can't be it either. Here I am, dressing up in a brand new outfit that I know for a fact didn't exist in the code previously. Yeah, I wonder when she'll figure it out. Nor did this dressing room, this clothing store, this whole mall. None of it is supposed to exist. When is she gonna figure it out? What is this reality I've found myself in? I finish putting on my tank top and adjust my hair and bow. I take one look in the mirror. Looking good, Monica. I assume you talking to yourself means you're finished getting dressed? Oop, yeah. Same here. Yuri, you done? Yes. I'm a bit nervous now. I don't really know if this is my style. You literally picked out that outfit though. I'm finished too. Ready whenever you are. Oh, let's find out. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Nice! Nice! All stuff I've seen before. Except for maybe Yuri in the hoodie and sweatpants. It definitely strikes me as the kind of thing Yuri would wear. But yeah. Sayori is just embracing sweater weather. We all step out of the stalls at the same time, revealing all of our outfits to each other. Also, I can't help it. Yep, god damn it. I have to compliment the design choice. To have Monica be the only one to pick something, short, quote, short sleeve, or, tank top, while everyone else picked something more long sleeve. Way to go the extra mile, you know, making it consistent. You know, making Monica feel like the odd one out of the group. Yeah, I get that, Reimu. I get that. But yeah, I just like the little details that.
Whoa! Look at you guys! Monica, your outfit looks really nice. Natsuki, yours looks great too. No need to be shy, Yuri. That sweater suits you perfectly. Yeah, you look great, Yuri.
Do you guys really think so? Yeah, she looks like she's ready to just unwind.
Yeah, I think it suits you. Thanks, guys. You all look great too. Your outfit looks great, Monica. You look fantastic in it. Ah, you think so? I just sort of wanted something simple, nothing too flashy. Yeah, but you can make any outfit look good. Well, thanks, I guess. I assume we're going with these outfits then? Yeah, let's go pay! Natsuki and Yuri head up to the front of the store to pay, but Sayori stays behind. Huh? What's up? Your arm. What happened there? Look down and my heart skips a beat. It's pretty faded now, but the scar is still there.
Oh man. Are we talking about that secret from the base game? Yeah, you might recognize it from the original exit music.
From the day I hurt myself.
Yeah, that moment that you read about when you unlock the secret for it. I remember hearing that.
Oh, that? It's nothing really. Just a little mishap while chopping some veggies a few weeks ago. Oh, okay then. Sari pauses for a short second. Let's go catch up with the others. I let out an internal sigh as I completely forgot about what I had done to myself. You'd think I would have made a better effort to hide it from everyone. Nothing I can do about it now. At least it does look passable as a small injury. The four of us decide to wear our outfits and pay for them at the front counter. We grab a few shopping bags, place our uniforms inside, and walk out of the store. As we leave the store, I immediately notice that the large crowd from earlier has basically vanished and transformed into just a few groups of people. The orange sunset serving as an indicator that the mall will close soon. Well, this was a fun time. This was a great idea, Sayori. I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say we needed a day just to ourselves. I agree. We should do this more often. Indeed, I had a good time with you all, even though it was a little bit overwhelming. Same here. Well, except for the overwhelming part. Glad to hear everyone had a good time. Let's get going then. As Sayori and Natsuki walk on ahead, Yuri taps my shoulder. Huh? What's up? Well, I wanted to thank you for today. You didn't have to guide me through the crowd, but I don't want you to think I didn't appreciate it. I don't usually like it when people take pity on me, so forgive me for sounding like a bit of a hypocrite. Oh, I just wanted to help my friend. I don't mean it to look down on you or anything of the sort. Like I said, it was mostly for my sake, right? I understand. Still, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Of course, Yuri. And hey, if you ever like to talk about anything, don't be a stranger. I know I'm probably the last person you'd think of in looking for support, if we're being completely honest, but I'm trying my best. Sure. Let's catch up with the others.
I'm not sure Yuri bought that.
Because Yuri lives not too far from the mall, she decided to walk home. Natsuki, Sayori, and I, on the other hand, have to take the train. Sleepy? Yeah. I could use a good night's rest, too. What about you, Monica? How are you feeling? A bit tired, but can't complain. I am curious about something, though. Does Yuri always take the train and walk home by herself every day after the meeting? She does, but I walk home with her sometimes if I'm not needed at home. I'm a little worried about her since she lives on her own these days. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Did her parents kick her out of the house or something? No, nothing like that. At least, I don't really think so. Anyway, Yuri had some loss in the family, and that house was left to Yuri in their will.
Oh, so that's what it is. I've heard that before.
I think it was her grandma or something. Something she was really close to, I'm sure. Huh. I actually had no idea about any of this. None of this information was anywhere in the game code. I'm not even sure why I'm surprised at this point. It's all become fascinating to me. Really? The whole house? Just like that? That's crazy. I mean, it's cool that she has her own place now. Although I guess loneliness is a problem. I know about that all too well.
Yeah, you and me both, huh?
Yeah. But... Oop, Sayori's gone. Sayori's head now rests on my shoulder as she snores softly. Similar to a cat sleeping on your lap, I now refuse to make any sudden movements. Anyway, yeah, I do worry about her sometimes, given that she's alone at home all the time.
And she has to take on all the responsibilities of a homeowner. So, yeah, there's that.
Maybe I should ask to go over to her place, just to see how she's doing. You know, as much as she'd probably seem like she wouldn't want you to, I'm sure she'd appreciate the company. I can't go over as often as I would like to. You know how unpredictable my dad can be with these kinds of things. Ah, right. I just worry about her. She has a lot going on. But I won't get into any details. It would just give me some peace of mind knowing that she has someone to check up on her every once in a while. I totally understand. I'll ask her about it tomorrow. There's that club president I know and love. just trying my best. It's all anyone can ask of you, isn't it? And that's that. Kind of an abrupt end to that day. Whoop. Lazily rise up out of bed and stop my alarm. I think since it is now roughly 3:30 in the morning where I'm at, I think that's going to be a good place to leave things off for next time. Even though I start a little bit later at my day job tomorrow, I still want to get, a good amount of sleep. You know? Because last thing I want to do is show up with less sleep, than I should have. And just be tired as hell all day. That's not fun. It's not something you want to do. It has happened before, though. Like, when I've had 2 days in a row where I work the evening shift where I work until 10 p.m. Then I have to go in at 7 o'clock the next morning. I've done quite a few of those before, and let me tell you, they are brutal. Because what I'm doing right here, this is the reason I stay up, because I need to to unwind after work for a while. I need to release the excess energy that I have.
But yeah, I mean, that's part of why I like to do this kind of stuff. Ben has the you know what revealed. Do you know what? I'm confused. Oh yeah, I guess I bumped the tilde key. I didn't even realize I pulled that up. I probably bumped it when I was going for the escape key. Yep. I still have that hotkey mapped. I'm so glad we made that as part of the overlay. What I brought up before stream? You mean like in the mod channel? I don't know what you mean. I don't think anything like that came up. So yeah, I don't know what you're on about. But anyway, again, I'm really enjoying the later acts of Salvation Remake here. Like I said, like I've said on several recaps now, it, had some rough beginnings in Act 1, but once this mod got going, like, it just has not really stopped. And I'm really enjoying seeing, this more detailed take on it. It's really, really nice. I'm really enjoying myself with this. So, the more I play it, the more I'm becoming baffled how, this mod earned whatever reputation it did. But yeah, I'm looking forward to picking this up again sometime. And Remu, to answer your question, I kind of do these on days where I don't have anything in particular planned, which is usually Sunday, Tuesday, or right now, Friday. What reputation that it has? What I mean by that is when I first started playing this, like when I first heard about it, what made it stick out to me is when the original download, initially disappeared, and I was like, oh shit, what happened? And then I heard the original creator just like completely disappeared from social media, and I was just like, okay, what did people have to say about this mod that would drive somebody to do that? So I wanted to find out for myself, because that's just the type of person that I am. And so far, like, man, I did not realize how long of a break I took from this after December. But yeah, I'm really not seeing it. There were some problems I had in the beginning in Act 1, to be sure, but not only was Act 1 brief, but, the rest of this, up until everything I've read, has been really good so far. Like, I'm really enjoying this mod. I think, for the most part, it's been really, really well put together. Caleb says the Savage community basically flogged him for little reason. Even if the mod was mid, that kind of treatment was a bit much. Yeah, I don't really follow that type of drama stuff, so I was not aware of that. But yeah, I can't say I'm surprised by that behavior. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. So, anyway, I will probably be scheduling another one of these for sometime next week. whether it's going to be next Tuesday or on Friday, I'm not sure. I'll have to figure it out. Really? Ultimately, it doesn't matter. I have my own opinions on remake mods, but quality is quality. Who can complain with that? I agree. And personally, I've always been someone that, regardless of what people had to say about a mod, I still, want to judge the mod on my own. I want to play it for myself. I want to judge it on its own merits based on what I think, because this is my show, and god damn it, I'm gonna feature whatever the hell I want. So, if I'm interested in playing a mod that people say is bad, I don't fucking care. I'm still gonna play it anyway. If I'm gonna decide for myself if it's bad, and if that's something that I decide, like with the mod 100 Days, for instance, good god, don't get me started on that mod, then I'm gonna drop it. Because, yeah, I'm not playing that, but, this is not one of those mods. Yeah, if you were part of the Discord server, you'd be privy on when my streams are, because I always post a schedule of, like, my outline for every week. I don't always follow it to the letter, because, sometimes stuff comes up. Sometimes, I have a rough day and I just want to take it easy and, don't want to stream. Or sometimes plans with the boys or Caleb or whoever I'm partnering with fall through. So, shit happens. But yeah. Yeah, Caleb, every time I read the name Jizz Guy, I just think of those .jizz files that I saw on the Sonic Center that people used, I think, to record emulator demos for Sega Genesis emulators back in the day. Something like that. It's a really weird file type, and I've never really looked into it, but I think it's really interesting. Yeah, Ramu, it's all about how you word. It's all about how you phrase things. It's all about how you say it. And that's something really important with criticism. If you're just dunking on something for the sake of dunking on it and trying to hurt people, then yeah, it's gonna have a very negative effect on somebody. But if you're making an effort to be constructive, and just more like laying your knowledge on the table as opposed to just trying to be like, no, you're just wrong, Lamau, then people are going to be more receptive to what you have to say. Yeah, Caleb, exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying. Just if you're going to criticize a mod that you've played, be constructive about it. Like, I know I'm talking to the internet here, so easier said than done for some of you, but please just make an effort. Well, in my opinion, criticism, is about when you want to criticize something. When you want to criticize something, you want to pick out, the things that you liked and the things that you didn't like, and then, articulate why you did or did not like a certain aspect of something. But yeah, I feel like we're just going to end up talking in circles if we keep doing this, so I'm going to call the session here because I want to get some food and go to bed. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. It's always fun booting up mods. And I'm looking forward to booting up the mod I've got planned for this upcoming Sunday. I talked about it in the Mod Talk channel on the server before, but it's called Night Rain, Doki Doki Night Rain, and it looks like a really fascinating mod. According to the little blurb I made about it on my stream schedule for this week, it's a really cool thriller mod set in a quiet neighborhood during the year 2007, inspired by stuff like Stranger Things and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm familiar with the former, but not the latter. But I really liked Season 1 of Stranger Things, so I'm there. Anyway, that's what I got coming up for DDLC mods this weekend. As for the rest of the week, I'm doing more Undertale Yellow tomorrow. I really want to do another episode of Fruit of Grisaya on Thursday, because I wasn't in the mood to do one last week. Just got home and I'm just like, ugh, because work was shit. Night Rain. Yeah, Night Rain, not Night Raid. But yeah. But yeah, it sounds like a good time, and it has nice screenshots. Sure, I'll give it a shot. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here, for real. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Have a good night, day, whatever time it is you're watching. And yeah. Peace.